Welcome back to Washington. Joining us now, Senator Ron Johnson. Senator, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Morning, Joe.
Would it be overstating it? I don't know whose phone that is, but would it be overstating it to call you a Tea Party senator?
Well, I actually kind of maybe sprang out of the Tea Party. It's my first political involvement. I gave a speech to the Tea Party. And I'm certainly on board with the fact that America is taxed enough already, and that I really came here, to basically be the vote to repeal Obamacare and try and prevent the bankrupting of America. But, I'm really not affiliated with any particular group. I really do view myself as a pretty independent voice.
But I can talk to you about the strategy of trying to defund Obamacare and whether it came back and became counterproductive for the Republican Party. Do you acknowledge that that's what happened?
I was pretty upfront in not supporting that strategy because I didn't think it was...
You want to repeal it, not defund it.
Well, it wasn't achievable. I mean, I've done a lot of strategic planning in business. It always starts with ascertaining, acknowledging reality, and then set an achievable goal. I mean, don't set yourself up for failure, set yourself up for success. I think had we really approached it trying to get a one-year delay, look at how much of Obamacare the president's already delayed. I think that might have been achievable. That would have been a responsible thing to do for the American public. I'm all for defunding, repealing, getting rid of Obamacare because I know the harm it's going to cause our health care system, our federal budget, and our freedoms. But, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It was a spectacular failure in terms of that strategy.
What we want as I guess it's sort of a mantra of ours now. We want business and the U.S., just the country itself, the people in the country, to maximize our earnings power, to maximize our prosperity,
create opportunity,
to maximize and to create jobs. Maybe Obamacare, some people in your view that hurts our goal, but so does shutdown. So does acrimony, and
the federal government harms economic growth. The federal government.
Well, this latest episode, I don't know how many people.
But just in general, you've got a regulatory burden that is $1.8 trillion. Joe, that's a number that's larger than all but 8 economies in the world. That's what we are burdening our job creators with from the federal government regulations. Throw on top of that the tax rates and our uncompetitive nature in terms of our tax system here, our corporations versus others, small businesses that now are paying a tax rate in excess of 40%. I mean, what risk? I mean, what incentive is there to risk your capital under those scenarios?
In the next 3 months, or however long that we have, what do people like you need to give up, and what do people like on the other side, the president, and what do they need to give up so that we can all end up in the same place where fewer people are unemployed, more people that want to work and have jobs?
Let's first give up the threat of shutdowns forever.
We should.
Yeah, there's an excellent piece of legislation both in the House and the Senate, Portman and then Langford in the House. I called "No More Shutdowns Ever" bill. But all it does is it'll fund the government if you don't pass appropriation bills at current levels. If you can't come up with a prioritized spending bill within 120 days, drops the funding 1%, another 120 days, another 1%. It's that kind of fiscal control, that kind of fiscal discipline that you have to impose on this dysfunctional place called the federal government.
How about the debt ceiling? What can we do about it? It seems stupid, doesn't it? It never works, and the only reason to use it is to say, we're not going to raise it unless you do this, and then we end up in the same position.
Unfortunately, in this place, you need some sort of action-forcing moments. And the debt ceiling is certainly one of those.
Is it never not going to be raised?
How
if it's never not going to be raised?
Well, first of all, we're never going to default. We're never going to default.
That's what I mean. So why have it?
What we should be doing is we should be facing reality. We should be actually looking at real information. We should be defining the extent of the problem. And then what I'm always putting forward is a solutions menu. On a no-fault basis, let's start saying, hey, not that I'm proposing this, but what would happen if we actually start recognizing people aren't dying at 62, they're living, which is a good thing, to 80. Right. We haven't adjusted that yet. Let's start putting on the solutions menu the value of those types of solution proposals so the policymakers actually know the value of their options.
You've got it's not unfunded, but the deficit will be $107 trillion. Even Tom Friedman wrote a piece. Finally, you even convinced him. I think
it's unsustainable, and we have to look at those numbers.
I'm sorry, we're telling our children, I'm sorry, but we ate it all. There's nothing left for you.
And that is the real shame. Obviously the Democrats have no problem in increasing the debt burden on our kids and grandkids.
We gotta go, Ron. Senator, thank you, and thanks for stopping by. I'm in your house. Thank you for welcoming us down here. Anyway, coming up.
Enjoyed it.